And now, Pain to Purpose with Priscilla Q Williams.
Hi, my name is Priscilla Williams. I am a registered nurse, certified overflow coach, a transformational strategist, and I love to help women. So I'm glad that you're here with me today. I want to share with you a very powerful but informative subject. So, have you ever experienced pain? Have you really thought about what you've been through over your life? Or you may be even going through some things right now. But I want to be here to encourage you, empower you, and uplift you to share with you that pain is part of your journey. So for me, I started as any other woman going to school, grew up in Chicago, Illinois, in the inner city, went to Finger High School, and grew up in the Roseland community. My mom and my stepfather, they raised me and they did everything that they could for me. But I always had that small inkling of why my biological father wasn't there to raise me. And that was something that I carried throughout my life and my adulthood. That's something that really just bothered me. I didn't even share it with my mom at times. And so I grew up as a woman that always had that insecurity. If my dad wasn't there for me, and it isn't like my dad is sick or, harmed or anything like that. He just wasn't there. He never tried to have a relationship with me. He would pop in and out of my life. And so that really had me carry lots of baggage. And I was really insecure in some of the things that I wanted to do because I felt like he should be there. Even though I had a loving stepfather, it was just something about not having my real dad there. And so that was really hard. As I began to grow up and just, work as a nurse, and I just knew that God had many things for me, but I really didn't know what my purpose was. I really didn't know what I was called to do. And so that's when I decided that I needed to do something more. I knew that I love nursing. I love educating people. I love, just being there for patients. But there was always that small part in my heart that knew that there was more for me. And so that's when I met my coach and my sister, Monique Carradine, and she deposited into me. She coached me, she mentored me, she trained me, and I really began to dig and see what those deep-rooted issues were and why I had low self-esteem. Why did I think everyone would walk off and turn their back on me? And when I really sat down and dealt with those issues, I realized that carrying that baggage of my dad not being there for me, it really carried into my life. And so I began to just self-sabotage. I began to talk negative. I began to do things that I knew wasn't right because I was carrying pain. And as some of you may even experience pain in your own life, maybe your mom or your dad or whatever it is, that pain is part of your journey. And even now today, as a woman that's married with a child and stepchildren myself, I know what it's like. And so I want to help other women experience to get through that pain and to birth into their purpose. I realize that whenever you're in pain, you tend to shy away from people. You begin to look at your life differently and you don't understand everything that you're going through. So because of that, sometimes my grades wasn't the best. I always thought I wasn't smart enough. I thought I wasn't good enough. I really didn't think knew who I was as a woman. I didn't know who I really was. And that was until I received coaching and received someone to really sit there and listen to me. There's power in really having someone to listen to you. So I think that, just having that purpose and knowing that pain is a part of their journey. And today I kind of want to share with you some of the things that I've experienced in my life, from bankruptcy to losing things to putting on a front and looking like I had it all together, but not having it all together. And so I want to share with you what some of those things felt like, what it looked like, and how I can help you, give you some strategies and some tips to move you from your pain to your purpose. So this is going to be a very informative segment. You are going to leave inspired and empowered, and I know that my story will at least touch one person. So come on, join me with this journey. Let's do it together. So we talked about pain and how that pain can birth you into your purpose. So I want to give you some strategies that'll help you really look at that pain differently. So here is strategy number 1. Pain is a part of your journey. You must trust the process. So you may say, what? How is pain a part of the journey? Well, I must tell you that whatever you experience in life, it all really comes together for your good. So I can share with you many of times I've experienced pain, and then a few years down the line, I said to myself, wow, that's why I experienced what I did, and how that really helped me to become the person that I am. So just to share a little bit more with you on some of my painful experiences, as told you before, I'm a registered nurse. And for so many people, they don't even realize what it took me to get to this point. Becoming a nurse is already hard in itself. As you may know, nurses know everything that the doctor knows. But little do they know, we don't get paid the same and we don't get the recognition. But just to give you a little background, while I was going through the nursing program, I had my son at the same time, and my son is actually a juvenile diabetic. He was diagnosed while I was in my senior year of the nursing program. That was detrimental, having to give a little baby shots, 5 shots a day. I think my world was coming to an end when I found this out. And then at the same time, trying to study for my nursing exams, which is already hard. I really didn't have the support that I needed. And guess what happened? Lo and behold, I failed out of the nursing program. This was devastating because this is all I ever wanted to do, was to become a nurse, take care of people, wear my little nurse's hat and my cute little nurse's uniform. But there was something that stood in my way. And so what does a person do when you failed out of the program and they tell you, sorry, there's nothing we can do? At that point, I was devastated. But I met this woman who was one of my nursing instructors, and she was amazing. And once I found out that I actually failed out of the program, I remember that day like it was yesterday. I literally collapsed in the school hallway. Everyone was surrounding me, and they were comforting me, and they were saying, Priscilla, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. But at that moment, I felt like it was the end of my world. Because what was I to do now? I was on public assistance with a link card. I was taking care of my son with food stamps. And that is not the life that I wanted for me and my son. I wanted more. So here I am in school trying to make something of myself. And then looks what happened. Fell out of the nursing program. But this teacher, God placed in my path to tell me, Priscilla, it's okay. This is part of the process. This is part of the plan. And I didn't understand what she meant at that time. But when I think back now, it was part of the process. And here I am now. I've been a nurse for 10 years. I've worked all over Chicago, giving chemotherapy infusion, ER, ICU, and now I work for a Fortune 500 pharmaceutical company as a nurse educator. And let me just tell you, that was not an easy road, but it was all worth it. Because when I look back and when I failed out of that program and I collapsed in that school hallway, little do people know when they see me now, all of the stuff I experienced, all of the things all the nights of crying, all of the days of studying, taking care of my son and giving him 5 injections a day. And guess what? My son is 17 years old now, and he's doing good, and he's thriving as a juvenile diabetic. So I want to tell you, it doesn't matter what it looks like. That pain is a part of the process. And guess what? You have to trust the journey. You have to trust the process, even when you don't see what it looks like. Just hold on to your dream. Hold on to that. So here's tip number 2 that I want to leave you. Pain is not about you. It's about another person. So just the other week, I held a major conference for women, teaching them how to rock their royalty, teach them how to walk in their divine calling. And guess what? There were so many women in that room. It was 115 women in that room, and they were crying and they were weeping, and they could relate to my story because some of them are going through the same thing. It may not be with nursing. It may not be their finances. It may be a relationship, whatever it is, but they were able to relate to the pain that I felt at that moment. And guess what? It's all about helping the next person. So if you can help somebody else get through their pain from what you experienced, it's all worth it. But during that moment, you don't know why you're going through all these things. But just know that it's not about you. It's about the person that you're going to meet. It's about the person you're going to inspire. I didn't understand all of those things back then, but I understand it now. And the women that I come across, they can relate to me because I'm able to share with them. I was on public assistance. I had a link card. I wasn't always making over $100,000 a year, but now I can share with them. I know what it's like to sleep on the floor in your grandparents' home. You don't have a bed to even put your child in. I could tell them what it's like not to know where your next meal come from. But guess what? It's just because that pain was not about me. It was about the person that I met. It was about the person that I'm going to meet. So look, know that the pain is not about you. It's all about the person that you're going to encounter. And then lastly, tip number 3 that I want to share with you. Learn to release the pain and embrace your purpose. So many times we hold on to that pain. We hold on to who hurt us. We hold on to all of those bad experiences, and we can't move forward in our lives. So if you are ready to move forward, you're ready to let go all of the hurt, all of the disappointment, all of the things that just crushed you. If you can release that today and move forward in your purpose, I'm telling you, you'll be so much better. You'll be so much greater because God has a major plan for you. But little do you know, you have to release the past. Don't hold on to the past. Forgive yourself. I had to learn to forgive myself when I mismanaged money, when I would get paid on Friday and my money's gone on Monday. I had to learn to forgive myself for all of the things that happened in my past. And now I'm able to move forward. Now I can really save my money and now I can really share with somebody, hey, that's maybe you need to save a little bit more than you spend. But just so you know, I had to release that pain. I held on to that pain so many times. I felt bad. I felt like a hypocrite. I felt like, hey, I'm not worthy to do this work because look at all the stuff I experienced. But it helped me realize that in order to move forward, I had to release the pain. I had to release my dad not raising me. I had to release all of the bad judgments I made. I had to release the old things that were in my life in order to move forward to my future. And your future is so much brighter than your past. So listen, those 3 strategies or those 3 tips can really help you look at your pain a little bit better. So 1, knowing that the pain is a part of the journey. Trust the process. Number 2, know that the pain is not about you. It's about the person you're going to come across. And number 3, learn to release that pain and walk into your future of your purpose. So those are 3 tips I want to leave with you. And now I want to share with you, how do you even get to that purpose? I want to share some strategy with you that help you move into the purpose. So come on, let's move to the next segment. Okay, so again, you may be asking yourself, how do you move into your purpose? Well, I'm glad you asked. I want to share with you some strategies that help me personally. These are not something that I heard about, but this is something that I did personally for myself, so I know that they work. Number 1, make sure you pray and ask for the divine guidance. This is really important. So as I told you, I met a phenomenal woman who became my coach. Not only was she my life coach, but she coached me around the area of business. And that's Monique Carradine. And so I prayed and asked God to send me someone that could really help me because I knew that I needed help. I knew that I couldn't function the same way that I had been functioning for years. And I knew that I wanted more out of my life, but I didn't know what that more looked like. When I began to start working with her, my whole life changed. But I was open to looking for that person. So I had to pray and find guidance and know what was the right steps for me to take. Because if we don't look for that thing, we don't know when it shows up. It says that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So you must be willing and open to finding when someone is sent to you for a divine assignment. Invest in yourself. Make sure you have someone to hold you accountable. So as I talked about, I hired a coach. I hired a life coach and a business coach. Now, this was an investment. Of course, it wasn't free. And who's to say that, hey, how much do you spend on everything else you do? We have to learn to invest in ourselves. So when I began to invest in myself, I knew the value of what it takes to really see the results that you want. Investing in yourself is not really about the other person. It's more so about you. So hiring a coach, getting a mentor, whatever it is you need to get you to the next level. I even had to hire a personal trainer. Now, as you can see, I'm a nurse. I'm not the slimmest, but I'm sure it's not as heavy as I used to be. I actually lost over 40 pounds from working with a personal trainer. But guess what? That wasn't free. I had to actually hire a personal trainer to get me active and get me right and get me tight. So let me just share with you. You have to invest in yourself in order to get the results that you want. There's nobody that can invest in you better than you. There's no one that can believe in you better than you. And so you have to be able to put your money where your mouth is. And if you want something, you have to put your money there too. So definitely self-investment is the best thing you can do. Okay, strategy number 3. Surround yourself with like-minded people. You have to know in order to get where you're going, you have to be around people just like you. And you never want to be the smartest woman in the room. So guess what? Surround yourself with people that will believe in you, that will push you, that won't think your ideas are crazy. So actually, some of the young women or friends that I thought I had, those people shifted and I had a whole new circle. But why? When you begin to step up, invest in yourself, believe in yourself, pray for guidance, guess what happens? You begin to become a whole nother person. And sometimes those same people that were around you, they may not really embrace that. So that may be hard to let some of those people go. And guess what? You don't even have to do a thing. Sometimes they leave from you because they can't accept the new person you become. So what I want to let you know with tip number 3, you have to be around those people that will really make you a better person. You are only as best as the circle you're around. Your network determines your net worth. So if the people you are around aren't really doing much, guess what'll happen? You won't really do much either. But when you are in a circle of influencers and game changers, guess what? You're going to step up your game and you're going to be an influencer and game changer too. So know that this tip is very important. You are who you're around. Step number 4. You will be afraid, but you must be afraid and do it anyway. So do you know whenever you do something new, there's always that fear that comes in. You're always a little hesitant. Can I really do this? Will I really be successful? Will these people really help me? You know, I had those same feelings just like you. And did you know that I was so scared to do so many things? But I realized that I couldn't let fear paralyze me. I couldn't let fear stop me from being the woman that I'm called to be. So for you, you have to know that there are times you're going to be super scared. You're going to be afraid, but you have to be afraid and do it anyway. There's so many new things that I've been able to do. I was afraid to hold my first women's conference and I didn't know what to do. But guess what? Here we are 4 years later with over 115 women in the room. I was scared to do my own radio show, but guess what? I was able to have my own radio show for over a year with a great following. I was scared to speak, but guess what? I did it anyway. But do you know that when you step up, even though you're scared, you are going to feel great about the accomplishments that you made. So don't let fear paralyze you and don't let it stop you. And if you hear someone say you shouldn't be afraid, then something's wrong with that picture. Know that you'll be afraid, but you have to do it anyway. Just step out, move, and guess what? The results, they'll come for you. I enjoy spending this time with you, and I'm so grateful to be a part of the Power Networking Conference. I would like to give you a free gift today. You can actually take out your cell phone and text the word pain to purpose to 22828. That's right, text the word pain to purpose to 22828, and you will become a part of my community and you'll receive your free Pain to Purpose download. That's right, your free Pain to Purpose download. I want to work with you even after this conference is over. I'm having a 3-day Power Pack Pain to Purpose webinar. That's right, Pain to Purpose webinar. And I want to help you embrace the pain that you experience, but release it to move into your purpose.
a little over a year ago, we met kind of by accident. I was invited to her event, and I was asked to be a model. I didn't know anything about the event. I just knew I was going to model. I had a free ticket. I was going to eat. So I went. Little did I know that event would change my life forever. So we kind of met and we mingled. I knew it was something that I needed from her. What it was, I didn't know. I had just begun to do network marketing. So I thought, hey, maybe I was going to sell her something, right? That wasn't it. God had a bigger plan. So I just kind of started following her on social media. And then I said to myself, wherever she is, if I can afford to be there, I am going to be there. So I just kind of started following her. I was invited to another event that she had, and we have just connected from there. I decided that I needed to be better. And I didn't know anything about coaching or mentoring, right? It was something that I saw on television. I thought that the rich and famous got coaches. I didn't think that a person like myself, not that I didn't think I needed a coach, but I thought that was for people that, they were doing it big.
I met Priscilla at the Black Women Expo. I was shopping and my god sister, she stopped by her table because she was with the Boss Network. And so my god sister told me, you need to come over here and meet this lady. So I rushed over and I introduced myself, and she was just telling me a little bit about herself, and then I signed up on a mailing list. So the spirit told me, you need to reach out to that lady. So I reached out to her. I said, hey, my name is Letitia. I want to learn a little more about your company, what you do. So we had a conversation, and I was telling her that I just moved back from Montgomery, Alabama. I was looking for a mentor, someone to help me get my own going. And so she told me, I tell you what, for free, I'm going to mentor you, be your mentor. And I'm, going through trying to be a certified coach. And in June is when I'm going to start a program. So I said, that's a blessing.
And being vulnerable, I was a part of what she called a no judge zone. So that allowed me to open up and reach down deep inside and express some things that I never expressed in a long time. And I felt comfortable opening up to her about certain things that I really need to address. A lot of times women have a lot going on inside that they don't want to express or tell people because they feel that they're being judged. But Priscilla's coaching program is no judge zone. So, and then she lets you know, she gives you awesome feedback, and I just thank God for her because she's really been a blessing to my life. I have changed dramatically in the past 6 months. I know who I am. I know who I am and whose I am. The homework that she gave me really allowed me to find myself, because a lot of people are lost, and so I just thank God for her. And I have boosted my confidence level. And even when times that we are not, and we're just in a friendly setting or whatever, she's always in coaching mode.
I am in constant awe at what is happening with me and the girls that I'm working with. I'm inspired because I know where we all started at, and to see them move into their goals, and just to see me have my own vision, it was something that I really didn't think I had. I really felt like my purpose was to help other people with their vision. So for her to effortlessly just show me that, no, you have a vision too, and now it's coming to light. It's working. It's real, and now I have a focus and something to move toward. I feel good about that. I don't feel like I'm just aimlessly wandering around or stuck. So now I feel like I have a calling to help other women as well.
As you can see, the ladies that I've worked with, they have really overcome some really painful things, but they're living their life's purpose. They're living their dreams. They're living in their overflow. And guess what? You can too. So don't let this stop you from moving forward. Don't let anything stop you from moving forward. I would love to work with you. You can also reach out to me at info@PriscillaQWilliams.com and go to my website, PriscillaQWilliams.com. And I look forward to working with you.
Thanks so much for sticking with us today for People to People. We're joined on set by a group of women who are making their marks in the business world, and they say you can do it too. They're part of Kamika Smith's The Boss Network. And joining us now, of course, we talked to Kamika a little earlier, is Priscilla Williams and Alicia Bowens. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Before we start talking about tips, First of all, Priscilla, tell me, what do you do for a living?
Sure. So I work with visionary women. I coach them and mentor them and train them as it relates to living their life's purpose and dreams. And I really love to see women reach their goals because I know where I started. And so I am a registered nurse, and I worked a full-time job as a registered nurse for years, but I was unfulfilled. And even though I love nursing, I knew that there was more for me. So I love to just help women reach the next level in their goals.
That's awesome. And Alicia, tell me about you.
Well, I am a speaker, author, and life coach. I work with teen and single mothers, just helping them to stay connected to their dreams and their purpose. So a lot of times they're being told that their dreams aren't worth pursuing anymore, or they can't pursue them because they have children. So I just help them to hold on to that dream that they want to pursue. And I'm also an IT recruiter and consultant and a full-time project manager.
Oh, so you ladies do it all, it
Yeah,
sounds
boss
like.
lady.
So tell me, Priscilla, you have a tip. You say invest in yourself. For those who want to go out and do something maybe outside, you said you are an RN, but you decided that wasn't enough for you. So what do you mean when you say invest in yourself?
So invest in yourself is very important, because if you want others to invest in you, you have to invest in yourself. So for example, with the Boss Network and Kamika Smith, this is a phenomenal organization. So it is an investment attached, and success is not free. You're willing to put your money, your time, and your energy for whatever it is you want to reach. So when you want to reach those goals, you'll back it up with investment, which is your money, your time, and your energy.
Okay, and Alicia, you say create multiple income streams. We're talking about money.
Yes, not just one bucket. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Even if you're an entrepreneur, don't have just one product. And I can testify that I've been laid off 2 times within 1 year, and just having to lose that whole entire income before I pursued my entrepreneurial endeavors. But even within your businesses, you want to have multiple products, like an ecosystem to create, so you have multiple markets to pursue.
Okay, I have to ask you ladies, you guys are doing it all. You guys are all over the place. Have you learned from your failures? I'm sure there have been some bumps and challenges along the road. And if you have, what have you learned?
Yes. For me, I've learned just to have confidence in myself and to know that I deserve the best. And so I know that when you're out in the forefront and I'm speaking and I'm teaching and I'm training women, I also have to know that I'm worth having those opportunities available to me. So just taking the time to really step up, what it is that I want to do, and show women that I can do this, and show myself that I can do